What is up, and welcome back to another episode of So There's That. I am your hostess, doing the mostest, Kevon She, and we are here with a penultimate episode, Found, Season 2, Episode 21, Missing While a Family. Yes, I am getting on here smug because I said in the last episode, they are lying about Lena kidnapping Gabi because they are trying to see why Sir is working with the FBI and what information they have. And what did I say? What did I say? I feel vindicated. I feel like, put me in the writer's room. I just feel so good, and it's so good to, be right. Honestly, I feel like Sir when he's right about everything. And the way that they did this gotta be the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Bruh, first off, Gabi done took Peacock and other meds to put herself in the hospital. And they all in there like, okay, girl, yeah, okay, oh yeah, you looking a little damp, you looking a little sweaty. And she's like, Zeke, what did you look like? What was your skin like when they poisoned you? Oh yeah, give me a little makeup, So like, who knew that M&A was also really good at being special effects makeup artist? They in there like blotching her face. Meanwhile, Margaret's like, girl, you did this to yourself? She's like, listen, I gotta make it look believable. Sir is not gonna believe nothing else unless I'm actually in the hospital and suffering with some symptoms. And so she's like, okay, how do I look? Okay. So Dhan is with Sir, and he's like, if anything happens to her, she's all hospitalized, and Sir's like, put her on the phone right now. Like, oh my God, my Gabrielle, and da-da-da. So they FaceTime. They FaceTime, and Sir's like, bring the camera closer. I want to see her. And Gabi's like, who is that on the phone? She said, who is that? Oh, no, get away from me. Go ahead, hang up. They gave a man 10 seconds and it sold. And I was just laughing because I'm like, Sir, are you really that easy? Like, oh my God, Gabi is so smart. I mean, this was definitely a very dramatic approach at trying to figure out like what's going on and drawing Lena out. And of course she knows him better than anyone. It had to be physically real, but them just being in that hospital and doing all of this had me dying in the opening of this episode. But it works because Sir tells Dhan, hey, go ahead and get this agent, call him up. I can have Lena meet me at this hotel that we always met at, like, because I love Gabi more than anybody on this earth, and how dare her. So I'm gonna beat her ass for y'all. You ain't even gotta do much, okay? Let me just give her the good old 1-2, and then you can take her. So they're going through everything. They get everything set up in the middle of Gabi and M&A going through the case. So they're supposed to be meeting at this motel, and Sir got on his Sunday's best, and the meeting was supposed to be at 4 o'clock. Gabs called Dhan, and she was like, hey, like, what's up? It's 3:52. I thought this meeting was at 4. And Dhan's like, yeah, we got a few more minutes. And she said, bro, in English class, that man always said if you are on time, you are late. Chances are Lena is in that room. Like, Sir raised her, and you're sitting in this car and y'all let him go in there by himself. Get your ass up and go in there and get him. So while all of this is happening, Lena came through a cross space, and Sir's like, you remember, like, I taught you well. And so they're in there having a little tete-a-tete when Sir is like, killing Christian is one thing. And Lena's like, well, yeah, I wasn't trying to, but it's unfortunate. And he was like, but you strictly were told and were forbade to touch a hair on Gabrielle's head. And now my sweet, sweet Gabi is in the hospital. And Lena's like, the fuck is you talking about, bro? Like, I respect you too much. I would never betray you. Like, yes, I'm crazy and you're crazy, but our crazy has boundaries. Like, what are you talking about? And so in that moment, Dhan and the agent bust up in the room, and Sir grabs Lena and he gives some type of cryptic message before he pushes her into the agents, and then now they're like tussling and everything. Lena ends up tasing the agent and she gets out, but Dhan gets caught at the crawl space. Sir gets caught by Dhan at the crawl space, and I think one of these dogs pooped. Hold on, I'm gonna be back. I guess somebody's stomach is hurting, and then I got sidetracked and started like cleaning out my refrigerator and like doing the dishes. Oh man, ADD when it strikes, boy. But where was I? So Dhan caught Sir, like, your big ass in that crawl space. I gave him an A for effort, but baby, are you serious? Are you serious? So Lena is in the wind, but Gabs really ain't got no time to really worry about that because a whole family done got kidnapped, and we gonna come back to that because but moving on into like the Margaret Jamie of it all. In this episode, this is gonna be the first time that Jamie is reunited with his dad, which his name is Dale, I believe, and his sister Taylor, and the elusive Rachel, who I had only ever heard of and ain't ever seen. So they come over to Margaret's house. It's a big reunion. The sisters are like instantly like, I remember you. You are my brother. Like, oh my God. And it's really emotional. During this time, they're heading into Jamie's room and they're just looking at everything. And Jamie hasn't really been like living at the house, right? He's been in the motel sorting through his own feelings and such when he accidentally let it slip. It was pure accident that, you know, he's been staying in the motel for 3 months because the sisters were like, why the room look like this? Like, you didn't want to redecorate it. And so Papa was like, kids, let's have the room. Y'all, he had the nerve to try to come at Margaret about why she didn't say nothing to him. Now, Margaret, she started off how I would have. Hey, I wanted to make sure that it was him. We had DNA tests and stuff going on. I didn't want to have no false hope. And he's all, you should have told me the moment that he came in. She said, do you remember that you called me crazy? Said that I was crazy for continuing to look for my son and to believe that he was out there, and you left me. I haven't seen one of my daughters since he got kidnapped. The other one barely keeping a relationship with me, and you trying to come at me, trying to like blame me for hiding Jamie or anything like that. Baby, I did not hide him, but you did not make it a safe space for me to come tell you in the first place because you were never on my side. You didn't act like a grieving father then, so don't get up here in my fucking face trying to act like a grieving father right now. And I said, whack him again, sis. I cannot stand terrible dads in this moment, especially with the like flashbacks. It doesn't matter how he was with the daughters. The way you treated your wife when your child was taken bled over and directly impacted one of the relationships that she has with her kid. So not only was her son missing for 13 years, she didn't have a daughter for 12. So 2 of her kids are gone because of how you treated her. And how do you think that trickled over into their relationships? So get the fuck on, bruh, and go talk to your son and get out of my face, okay? So she said what she had to say. She put him in his place or whatever, and she gave them, you know, all the space and everything to move. But obviously they got caught for the case, and Jamie, he been employed for 3 months. Like, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go. So Dale and the kids, they just kind of like reeling with the information and just, you know, letting it settle with everything that's going on. And we get some flashbacks from Jamie too, where it seems maybe just even a couple of years ago, he saw his dad and his sisters at a park and he was gonna go speak to them. But at that time, he didn't really know what was going on, but he saw this man eyeing this little girl who was kind of separated from her own mom. And he felt shifty or whatever, so he intervened and, you know, pretended to know the girl and was just like, hey, your mom sent me over here to get you, blah, blah, blah. And the guy kind of like slunk off. So we really get to see that Jamie didn't really necessarily get these skills just because he was scoping out M&A and all the other sneaky suspicions that everybody had when they're like, is this the real Jamie? It seems that much like Margaret, as a direct result of his own kidnapping, he probably developed this eye for shifty characters and stuff too, because he just grew up trying to figure out how he got taken and why his mom didn't do anything or anything like that. And it could also just be like an innate goodness in him. He's really good at what he does at M&A. He brings something else to that, and the fact that he can draw, he can really help get certain images and everything out there. So like, he works very well. I feel like his skill set is a really good blend between Zeke and Margaret and Gabi, because his perspective is very much like Gabi's. So now the storyline has kind of moved away from the is he, isn't he, and we're really getting to see him blossom and everybody just accept that like he is Jamie. Carrie is in jail. All is right in the world. And for the first time in this episode, Jamie tells her, I love you, Mom. Like, he had already called her mom, like, you know, get away from my mom or whatever, when Carrie was like knocking her out or whatever. But that could have just been a reflex. But this is like eye contact. This is poignant. And this is like happiness, like true happiness from Jamie. He has a long way to go, but he's surrounded by the right people that's going to get him there. So Margaret's like, you know what? You can go on off with your dad and them. I don't need to be there. I've had so much time with you, my baby boy. You are so much like me, and I'm just so happy to see that in all this time my DNA sits in you, and that makes me proud. And I think that you should share this part of yourself with your sisters and your dad, so that they can just be as proud of the man that you've become as I am. So we get this happy, beautiful moment, and Dale ends up coming over to Margaret's house, and she's like, what's up? He was like, oh, I just came over here to see if Jamie was here. You know, I wasn't sure if he was nervous or anything. And she was like, he said he was meeting y'all. And Dale's like, yeah, but he never showed up, so I just assumed he might have been scared, so I just came over here. Maybe we could just have a private talk before he comes over. And she's like, oh hell no. Like, this ain't the Jamie. He wasn't gonna do that shit then. He ain't gonna do that shit now. And y'all, Jamie is up and kidnapped again, and by none other than who? Lena. So there's that. Season 2, episode 21 of Found Missing While a Family. And the name is so appropriate because, like I said at the beginning of the season, I think it was around like episode 4 or 5, where Margaret was getting on my goddamn nerves, and I was just like, these are the things that's needed to disrupt the lies and the structure that they have, and I felt like they could come out on the other side and rebuild something stronger and something new if they're just honest with each other. And throughout all 21 episodes so far, that's literally what we've seen. Sir has disrupted this thing, and he thought that he can get in the way of Gabi and her family and break it up, when in reality it just made it all stronger. And then Jamie coming back into the fold and kind of breaking up some things too, it just made it even stronger as well. But at this point, there is a desperation in Lena, and now her back is to the wall, because now she's like, her brother done set her up. She can't trust nobody. Everybody's looking for her. Her picture is out here everywhere, and she makes a desperate grab by kidnapping Jamie. Now my thoughts is, girl, you done kidnapped the wrong person. Like, do you not know who Jamie is? Like, this desperation is clouding so many things, because it's like, okay, you're not only kidnapping somebody on like M&A property, right? Because I'm assuming she got him on outside somewhere, right? So you're already playing with a group of people who aren't bound too tight by the law, right? But then you're kidnapping somebody who was already kidnapped. whose mother can read people, and that's how she clocked that you were Sir's sister without ever saying a word. Like, it's like you got the wrong and the right one. Because as we saw this season, when Lacey got kidnapped again, you only gonna get them once. And you better kill them. Because if you give them the opportunity to escape, it is not going to be good for you. And this time around, they know better, and therefore they're going to do better. So this is just not a good idea. Lena, girl, I can already tell it's not going to be looking good for you next episode. Because this was the dumbest shit you have done. So dumb. And you think Mags, it's gonna sit up here. Boy, you done lost your goddamn mind. Oh my God. What a way for her to go out. Like, cause there's only two things for her. Death or jail. Like, she's not getting away. I'm sorry. You're not getting away. But like you literally, you kidnapped the wrong person, girl. You kidnapped the wrong one. I'm sorry to that girl. Any Lena fans out there, I'm sorry for y'all. Y'all already know I be predicting stuff, baby. She is not gonna last. This was the dumbest shit I have seen her do all season. My other thoughts, right? Definitely curious as to where the Sir of it all is gonna go. He's caught again. We done had a couple of ways to get out of prison, and he's really not getting out, and these charges are seeming to stick. And I'm just kind of like, free my mans? I don't know. I just wonder where we can go with this. And I'm also thinking about like future seasons. We haven't gotten a renewal notice yet, but I'm just thinking about like future seasons and everything that's going on with Gabi and this whole atonement and all of this whining about I committed a sin. Like, girl, you didn't kill nobody. You literally kidnapped the kidnapper and made him pay it forward. Like, it's not that deep. So I hope that this ain't dragged out, because that's getting on my nerves. Like, it's getting on my nerves. I don't understand the guilt that she feels, and I don't know that an audience would feel guilty. Like, I think we all get it, girl. We get it. We understand it. So I'm not really sure what's going on with the writing on that for her character. I'm definitely curious to see like where that goes, especially as we have one more episode. And then last but not least, how you kidnap the wrong family? How out of the 4 people you trying to kidnap, you didn't recognize none of their faces as not being the family that you kidnapped? Like, this episode was full of dummies, from the case to Lena to Sir. Like, definitely an exploitation of people's intelligence levels, because people were just dumb all over. My God, it was a lot going on, but I don't know, y'all, what you think. I don't see the Sir Gabi thing going back and forth too much longer. I don't know how much longer an audience can take with this guilt and like emotional self-flagellation from Gabi. But I am looking forward. What would I like? I can't even imagine. Each episode is so independent and yet flows at the same time. It's definitely an interesting writing style in the way that they thread all of the episodes together while still making them episodic in a way. So I legit have no thoughts on what I might want. I just know what I don't want. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. So as always, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave comments in the comments box below. If you got people who only want to listen, make sure you share the Spotify and the Apple link with them. You can always find me on Instagram at So There's That Podcast, where I talk about other film and TV news and entertainment updates. You can find me on Twitter at Kivanshi, as well as TikTok, where I do short form reviews and recaps on shows that I don't talk about on my podcast at Kivanshi. And with that, I will catch y'all in the next episode.